playing Maxwell.
I love Maxwell. Maxwell's my favorite
He's really
all-time
cool. He's
math
really
teacher.
hard, but he makes you
Right.
laugh to figure
Ooh,
math
that's
puzzles.
loud.
I didn't do
We're
anything.
gonna go ahead and get started.
I passed, but
Hopefully you don't mind if I
I love the way you
don't
teach
use the mic and everybody hear my voice.
What?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, my name is Josh Hovis. I'm the Student Organizations Coordinator. Thank you for coming to this completely voluntary, of your own volition meeting. I appreciate that you all wanted to be here tonight and took the time out of your busy day. But seriously, we appreciate you coming. We're going to try and get you in and out of here as quickly as we can. We have some introductions first. So, like I said, I'm Josh Hovis, Student Organizations Coordinator. This is Jared Conrad, the Student Club Assistant. Hashtag the real Cookie Monster. Hashtag Student Organizations. Hashtag I'm 38. In the back, in the blue, is Lexi Weistad. That's our financial technician. Anything that your club needs to do with money, you'll be talking to her, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. And the director of the live program is Miss Kara Collins. She's going to talk to you just a little bit.
My name's Kara, and as Josh said, I'm the director of the live program. It's really exciting to see so many of you here. Student Orgs are a huge part of what makes UAF such an amazing campus to be at. If you noticed as you were signing in, we are asking you for some new information this year. One of the things that we asked for is a guess of what the number of members of your student club is. I understand that not all of you will have a clear picture of that right now, but as you do, if you can provide us with that information, it'll be really helpful. And one of the big reasons we're wanting that kind of information is because all of our programs are going through an evaluation process this year, and what we've realized is we don't have good statistics on how many of our students are involved in student organizations. And it will really help us to have that number to get more resources to help you have better clubs. So it's great if you can provide that. This year we are also going to be requiring that you register your events with us. That's not registering them to have them approved. It's registering them again so that we have a real clear picture of everything that you're doing. We know that your groups put on some amazing events. We just need to be able to capture that in some way that we can pass that information on to administrators and other people that make decisions that impact you directly. So if you can just get in the habit of providing that information for us, that will be great. And Josh will talk to you more about how to do that later on. So thanks for being here.
Okay, so we're going to go right into the slide. So what we have is some exciting information for you. So I spent a few hours making these slides, making sure all the things that were correct. So the backgrounds are going to be things that I enjoy, like X-Men and sharks. Hopefully everybody is okay with that. If you're really, really opposed to the X-Men, you can come talk to me afterwards.
DC.
So one of the first things that we're going to talk about is money, funding, and stuff. So there's a few sources that are kind of open to all clubs on campus when you're looking for funding. First one is UAF club funding that Mike Mansell, the vice president, is going to talk about a little bit later on. By being here tonight, you are approved to apply for that funding, and we'll discuss that at the end of the night. The ASUAF also offers travel scholarships. Now these come out once a semester. You'll fill out the application. I think this year they have $15,000 in the travel scholarship fund as well as $15,000 in the club funding line. Now, if you're looking to do an event, you're looking to get some sponsorship, definitely talk to your college, your school, your department. See what money is available, maybe for your academic department. Maybe if you can partner with an academic club if you are not an academic club, kind of see what's going on. If you're doing any kind of research scholarly activity, there's definitely grants out there that can help you fund that, fund your travel. Any of the things on here can probably help. The Technology Advisory Board, you should be able, UAF tab, will get you to their website. I know several clubs have bought things like cameras, iPads, different things to help them with any special events that they have coming up. And then also, just going out, ask big. Go to the provost's office, go to the vice chancellor's office, maybe even the chancellor. When I was a student here, we had this crazy notion that we wanted to play Quidditch at Springfest. And the vice chancellor was kind of interested in hearing about that. And he spent $1,000 on ordering us brooms. So, it's pretty crazy. They actually showed up the day after our Quidditch tournament, but then we had them. We had them for all of our meetings, all of the intramurals. So it's just a matter of going and asking. The worst thing that they can say to you is, no, I don't like you, go away. And they might say yes, and you might get a lot of money. Oh, and by the way, so anytime during this presentation, if you have questions, just shout them out, throw up a hand, go ahead and interrupt me. If I'm talking too fast,
but just for next year.
Something after that, you keep track of it all.
Right.
And we just want to make sure you don't damage an existing relationship. Maybe they've already given a lot, and so then they're like, why are you asking me again? I just gave you $50,000. I mean, you never know.
Right.
So, I mean, that might not apply to what you're saying.
Sure.
But, yeah, and if you need to, please do talk to me about it.
The verbiage is a little different than last year's slide, so I'm just
Yeah, it's too
checking.
big.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
So that being said, if your club is needing to fund, oh, we have questions.
One of the questions about the solicitations to some of the each of them, like Toastmasters, and we have door prizes or prizes offered up to people. We can't go out into the community and request those things from, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right. So the question is, if I'm understanding correctly, if a club can go out and solicit in the community?
Like, we're gonna hold a raffle, or we're gonna do like an event where we have door prizes and stuff like that that we offer. They can't go down to like, Walmart and say, could you donate a quilt for my door prizes for my event? So I'm saying we can't.
Right, yeah, we're asking that you not solicit the community. But, so, if there's an existing relationship or natural relationship with the club and businesses in town, like if you're the pre-dental club, it's gonna make sense if your club is in communication with dentist offices. That's one of those things that there's some leeway there and some gray area in the policy. But before you go out and do that, if you could please contact Samara to make sure we're setting that up appropriately and asking appropriately, and that way businesses can be thanked.
How does it work if you're working with like a program like London or definitely go out and solicit sort of thing. But I think the way we do it is under ordinance and umbrella.
Yeah.
Is that the way it should be done or what?
Yeah. So some departments have a development officer that can be in charge of fundraising and asking for gifts for them, and school management is one of those. And I forget her name, Tammy, yeah. And so if your college or department has one of those development officers, definitely touch base with them and say, hey, this is what we're looking to do. We want to go out and solicit. Do you have a list of donors that we can ask and make sure we thank and ask appropriately? Any other questions about that? Yeah.
So this presentation will be online or available afterwards?
The information will be available online. Since some of these images are copyrighted, I'll have to take out the backgrounds before I put the PDFs on our website.
Stan Lee won't mind.
Are there? Oh, yeah.
When you say solicit help in the community, are you talking about specifically the Fairbanks or Alaska community, or are you talking about any solicitation?
Do you have an answer to that, Simone?
Yeah, I think overall we're talking about it. But again, talk to me about it. There just might be a pre-existing relationship that you don't know about. Maybe they've asked or not. Some of our donors have specifically said that they don't want to be solicited by students. They would rather deal with our office directly. So if you have someone in mind or anything, just my email address is on there anytime. Any little question, don't hesitate to ask me before you do anything. Thank you.
Oh, you're right. So, with that being said, so did everybody hear his question? It was if you should solicit the Alaska community, the Fairbanks community, or the worldwide community. If your club is looking to fundraise, if you're wanting to sell T-shirts or pillowcase covers with your club's logo on them, you can definitely throw those up on Facebook, throw those out to the internet community and see what kind of funds you can get there. A lot of people have friends and family that aren't here that are willing to support a club. The best resource when you're looking to fundraise to get some ideas is Google. Just Google other clubs like you that exist on other campuses and see what they're doing. Some clubs keep really active blogs or lines about events that they did that really helped them raise a lot of money, and we'll give you step-by-step guides to how they did that. I know that one of our forming clubs here, the Aerial Silk Club, has been in contact with both Anchorage and Juneau, and they're all sharing information about risk waivers, how they need to get approved, what's required on their campus, and they're sharing information about how they buy the resources, their silks, because I think one of the campuses spent $450 per silk in order to 5 of them, whereas I think our club here is paying around $185. So definitely strong. But any of this stuff is really good. You do online fundraising. If your club wants to do something like order shirts, get some pre-orders first. That way you've got money that you can use to either pay the shirt company up front or know that you have guaranteed sales when your shirts come in. The SRC, and we'll get to this a little bit later on too, the SRC grants student organization space. It's on a limited basis, but if your club wants to do something like hold a Frisbee tournament or can hold a flag football tournament outside and charge registration for that, that could be great, and you're getting that space and resources for free. I'm also a big proponent of eating contests because I'm undefeated, so another thing Jared is immensely good at and saving. So the student organization database. Hopefully everybody's seen this semester. It is one of the 3 things required for recognition from student organizations on this campus. It's housed under the Live program. It's on the Wood Center website. Now, as you see at the bottom, there's limited access to that. We only grant access to the student organization officers, and you have to email us your UA username, so that stuff that's on the beginning of your atalaska.edu account. This houses all your contact information, your advising information, your constitution, your meeting times and locations. And some of that information gets exported to our website, so it's really important. We have a lot of prospective students that are looking to come to UAF, or a lot of UAF students that are looking to get involved. They go to our website, check out our calendar, and check that active student organization list. So it's really important that your email, your meeting times and locations are up to date, so they can find you or get in contact. If you're on Facebook or anything like that, you can throw that on there, and they'll be directed to it. This is required to be updated each semester, and if you need access to it, just stick around at the end, and we'll make sure we get you access to that, and you can file it out. And there is this weird thing that's been happening, especially this semester, where it seems like every 3rd club was getting this not enough officer error. I have no idea what that is and no idea what causes that. If that happens to you, your information should be saved on there. Just let me know, and we'll get it approved, because when that error was popping up, it wouldn't submit to us for us to see it. Scheduling. You can schedule almost all the space on campus through the UA scheduling form on the Wood Center website. Now, all clubs and student organizations get 1 booth space per week in Wood Center, 1 meeting space per week, 1 ballroom reservation in here if you want to do an event, throw a dance, do a fundraiser. Now, through that too, you can reserve projectors, the screens, computers, popcorn machine, cotton candy. The cotton candy machine that you'll see at the Student Organizations Fair next week is actually from the Polar Express office, totally free to rent. They give you all the material, and then you just take it, and the only thing they require is that you clean it before bringing it back. So you can use that for fundraisers, you can sell that, you can do whatever. You can just hang out in your dorm room and eat some cotton candy if you want. It's totally free. Now the SRC gives clubs 2 sessions of 2 hours per week. But like I said, that's limited and on space available. So if you're wanting space in the SRC, if you're wanting to do a tournament, or you're an athletic club, make sure you get in contact with Katie Miller or Valerie down there as soon as possible and schedule your space. One of the things the SRC is really awesome about is if you have a campus club or you have people that aren't students or aren't SRC members and they want to join your club activities in the SRC, they'll get a discounted rate for the day. The only thing you have to do is provide them a list of your club members in writing that'll need access to the SRC. As long as they have it in writing, that person will get in at a discounted rate. You also get 5 hours of labor in Wood Center at no cost. So the setup you see here, some of our Wood Center staff set all of this up, set it up for us, and will take it all down for us. So if you're wanting to do an event, you want tables, you want chairs, you want anything like that, you can just fill out that form, and it's all at no cost to you. 5 hours each semester. Yeah, semester. Any questions about scheduling space or how that works? So some of the benefits of being a recognized student organization at UAF. Some other universities, they don't recognize their organizations, they just kind of approve them to exist on campus and run around and do what they want. UAF recognizes them, which means that you are a UAF entity. So that Quidditch club I was talking about earlier, we had some shirts printed out. It had a Nanook house pressed on it, and in the back it said UAF Quidditch. I was stepping off a plane in DC, and waiting for my luggage, and this guy was like, hey, Quidditch, is that around here? Is there a Quidditch team? And I was like, oh, no, this is from Alaska. And he was like, really? Do you want to sell that shirt? And I said, yeah, do you want it in blue or yellow? I've got 2 with me. He said, I'll buy both. How much you want? I said, 40? And he said, okay. I sold the shirt off my back in the DC airport. That is one of the things that recognition status can get you. Other things you get, free banners, posters, flyers, we'll talk about that in just a second. Access to that UAF calendar. On the UAF homepage, they have a calendar of events. If you want your event on there, your club meeting, your special event, your fundraiser, you're doing a wine tasting or whatever it is, you can get it put on there. You also get to schedule space. Any outside organization that wants to schedule space has to pay. And departments that want to set up something like this will get billed for it. But again, your student organizations, you're getting that for free. You get free funding, free labor. There's kind of a UAF bank account. We'll go over that in more detail in a little bit. You also have access to raffle permits. Now, oh, is Lydia still in here? Oh, she had to go, okay. So Lydia Anderson, Director of Wood Center, has a raffle permit that all student organizations have access to. You need to fill out some paperwork, you need to start that a couple weeks in advance, but if you're wanting to do a 50-50 raffle, if you're wanting to do some silent auction with some huge grand prize at the end, like somehow you got an Alaska Airlines ticket, you can have a raffle for that. It's technically a gambling license, so you'll need to come in, fill out some paperwork, have an idea of what you want to do, but that is a way that you can fundraise and collect money. There's the SOAR Award, which will come out at the end of the year, and ASUAF resources. Now this poster rack that's in the back that hopefully you all saw when you came in, ASUAF ordered 3 of those this summer for student organizations to use. So when you're tabling, if you want off campus, on campus, you can grab those, throw your flyers in them, throw your posters in them. They also have a karaoke machine. They've got these chafing dishes that we have in the back, and hopefully they're going to start building the club resources a little bit more. If there's something that you think clubs can use, like maybe some pop-up tents to go outside, that maybe they could hold on to, rent out to clubs, hopefully for free, just talk to any of your ASUAF senators. There's a few of them in the room, and the vice president will be up talking later. Any question about those benefits or resources? Okay. Moving right on. So Wood Center graphics, you'll find them housed on the Wood Center site. All clubs and organizations get 1 free banner, like those hanging in Wood Center, 12 feet long by 3 feet wide, or 12 feet wide by 3 feet tall. You're going to get a free poster and 40 free flyers. Now, if you don't need the flyers, but you want 2 posters or 2 banners, just ask Wood Center Graphics what you can do to get the equivalent of whatever it is you need. Now, if you need them to design something for you, I think the cost for clubs is $10 an hour, which is a discounted rate from their $18 they charge everyone else. But if you have your own thing set and ready to go, all you do is email it to them, they print it off, and it's free. That being said, too, the Writing Center, 8th floor of Greening, when you come off the elevator, the Writing Center is on the left. If you take 3 rights and then look on your left, there's a color printer. All students, I believe, get 25 free color copies per day per person. So if 2 of you go up there, that's 50 color flyers for free. Hopefully I'm saying that right and they just don't get all their paper printed. Does anybody have any questions about what's for graphics? How any of that works? When you fill out that graphics order online, it's going to ask you for your account number. If you don't know it, just write Ask Live, Ask Josh, Ask Jared, Ask Kara. Just put something in that account number slot, and it'll take the form, and you can keep going. Don't let any of those sections that you don't know the information they're requesting hold you up. Just write Ask Live in there, and we can take care of all of that on the back end for you. So your advisor, some of the responsibilities that the club has to him or her is to keep them informed of what's going on, get all their signatures on financial documents, and just kind of give them the loop of what you're doing. We've had a few advisors call us and be like, hey, my club's out doing this thing. Do you know anything about that? And we're like, no. And I'm guessing you don't. Strange. So, but what you can and should expect from your advisor is somebody who's active, involved, and appropriate for your club. Somebody who's giving you guidance and has the institutional knowledge to know what forms you need to fill out, what forms you can avoid, and what forms you can go around. Now, they should be encouraging you and be enthusiastic. And also, in between that May and September time period, if you have anything you need to leave, especially if you have graduating officers and the incoming officers of your club might need to know or hang on to, leave it with your advisor, and that person should be able to transfer that information from year to year. It's one of the things that's important. Now, one of the things that I'm a big proponent of is having a sit down with your advisor and saying, hey, this is what we expect from you, and let's sign a contract. Let's say this is what the club is going to do, and this is what you're going to do for us. And if they're not willing to kind of sit down and have that meeting with you, you might want to find a different advisor. If your club at any point is ever having trouble finding an advisor, let us know. It's one of those things that we can kind of help with, try and get connected, and see if we can hook the club up with somebody that's more appropriate for there at all. So here's where I got bored of X-Men and switched to Sharks. Now, when your club is looking at doing anything, hopefully you're doing at least 7 of the things on this list. So, getting flyers, brochures, posters, banners. When you're filling out that Wood Center graphic order, they're going to ask you for other design services. One of the things that you can do in there is digital signage. It's at absolutely no cost to you. Even if you've made your own thing and you're just having them print it, they can create a digital sign for you, and that'll go on all those plasma screens around campus. It's free advertising for however many weeks it's up. Sunstar articles, sidewalk shop, snow art. Oh, Rebecca. Yeah. So if you send it to us, it'll go on the Wood Center one, but all the people that have access to those digital signages, they talk and communicate like, hey, we need some things. And so if you can send it to one and say, hey, can you please send this out to the rest of the people on the digital sign list? Yeah. Then they can kind of forward that on. And it's like the ones in Res Life, it's their choice whether or not they put them up. The library, it's their choice whether or not they put them up. But they'll have it, and they can put it in a rotation. So KSUA radio and TV, if your club wants, you can go in there, make a PSA, say, hey, here's what we are, here's what we're doing. Find us on the web here, find us on campus over there. The student works calendar is one of the things that Jared's in charge of. Hopefully, after this week, we'll have everybody's meeting times and locations, and we can make one giant calendar. So when students are looking at that, they'll see every organization, when they're meeting, where they are. Do you have any? It's per semester, yeah. So it's not quite updated now, but hopefully next week it will be. Okay. Any questions about any of this advertising? Okay. So one of the things that Kara and I developed for this coming year is a leadership workshop series, and it's going to be where we're offering more targeted training. So things like Safe Zone, volunteering, fundraising, marketing, recruiting. All of these are going to be on Wednesday nights. They're going to be in Wood Center E&F, which is right next door. And the schedule's online, and we also have some flyers in the back. I think they start 16th next week. Week at 2 weeks. They'll start in 2 weeks, and then there's the dates on the side. If you want any more information about that, just email us. If there's a certain thing you want to see at one of those trainings, if there's something that your club is wanting to know, just email Kara and I, and we can set up a one-on-one training for your club for something. That's totally an option that's available through our office. Any questions about that? So the Student Organizations Fair is rapidly approaching. It's next Tuesday and Wednesday. It's going to be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Wood Center each day. The registration is online now, and we're hoping this year to make it a little bit more carnivalesque, a little bit more like a fair. So we're going to be having air swimmers that are going to be doing races with prizes. We're going to have popcorn, cotton candy. We're going to have a Lego table. We're going to be giving away prizes. We're going to be giving punch cards that require the students to go around and talk to different clubs and get them stamped or punched or verified that they've talked to your club before they can enter to win sweet things like hoodies, shirts, cases of ramen, cases of cereal. They'll probably all be Fruit Loops in case somebody doesn't pick them up for the Fruit Loops. Yeah, you can register for 1 day, both days. If all you can be there is for an hour, we'd love to see you, even if it's just that 1 to 2 hour.
So when you go to sign up though, if you click like the 8th, then it won't let you click the 9th. So how do you
We will fix that right after the training. Thank you, Beach. Okay. Is there any other questions about that Student Organizations Fair? Okay. Josh?
If we have some, like, large pieces of equipment, can we store them somewhere here? We just want to leave them mentally and
Yeah, so the question is, if you have something you want to store overnight for that day of the fair, we will find you storage space. It might be in a broom closet. It might be in the dark room where they used to develop photos. But we'll find you some space overnight here in Wood Center so you don't have to drag it out of the building and back in. There is a club storage room downstairs. It's super small. It's less than the size of this stage. But if there's something that your club needs to store over the break, if there's something that you don't want at your house anymore that belongs to the club, let us know. We can put it in that storage. Clubs will have access to it any hour of the day that Wood Center is open. The front desk can let you in there. It's right underneath us next to those pool tables and game areas. Are there any questions about anything else? Okay, perfect. We've got one more slideshow for you. So every club that wants a financial account can have one. All you have to do is fill out that account signers form that many of you probably already filled out this semester. Now, they're kind of like a bank account, and they're kind of not. It's going to be where all your money is stored. You can make deposits. You can access your money out of there, but and just pull money out when you need it. We have to keep track of all of that stuff, or I should say, Lexi has to keep track of all of that stuff on the back end. So if you need money out of there, if you need a cash bag for an event, if you need anything like that, you just shoot Lexi an email. How many hours in advance, Lexi?
As soon as you know what you're at.
Okay.
As soon as possible, whenever you guys are happy.
Okay. Now, if you're doing something with, let's say, dining and catering on campus with Center Graphics, you can just provide them that account number, and they can bill it directly out of there. If you're going on campus, we're going to talk about some options for purchasing. Yeah, Rebecca. So the question is, if somebody doesn't give you a receipt, how does that work? Yeah. For sure, yeah. That's a bit weird. If they don't give you a receipt, tell Lexi, and she will call or visit them personally. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so deposits. Anytime you're making a deposit, you have check, if you have cash, you can bring it right into the Wood Center, and Lexi, Crystal, or Carrie can take it for you. If I'm around, I can. Now, one of the things that we're going to need you to do is have a total prepared in advance as unique initials, but not everybody does. So make sure if you're dropping it off for some reason at the Wood Center front desk and they're going to put it in the safe, that you have a total written in there, you have who you are, a contact phone number and email, and what the club is. We had some deposits over the summer and at the start of the semester that was just money in the bag. So hopefully that gets to who it needs to get to, but it was money in a bag. Lexi.
Preferably do not just drop it off at the front desk. When you leave the deposit, you want to leave with a receipt. Otherwise, things can go wrong. We don't want them to. So yeah, don't leave it at the front desk.
Yeah.
Standardized forms that you want us to use or available to you, how would you put said information for making deposits?
So you can just write on the scrap piece of paper, any paper, what the total is, club name, email, your name, that kind of thing. Yeah, as long as it's written down somewhere. And please print in all caps. That'll make it really helpful, and not pencil.
And do both club name if you can, because me and Josh don't even know all of the initials. Not a lot of people would just look at it, see 3 or 4 letters, and know exactly what it is.
The Ye Olde Doctor Who Club, that's one of those ones that has a really individual initial system, but a lot of the other ones, we get confused about who it is. So options for purchasing. This is how you can spend your money. Interdepartmental charges, transfer from one to another. We call those JVs a lot of times. There's a limited purchase order. It's kind of like a big, huge check. That's the entire size of a piece of paper, but it's kind of like a blank check too. So if you're getting pizza from somewhere and you forget to fill in the total, it's just a blank check that somebody can write in there how much money they want from your club. So if you're getting one of those, make sure you fill out everything. There's instructions on there for how to fill those out, and I'm sure Lexi will read you when you fill one out. But the best option is the credit card or the Pro card. We have 3 available for checkout in Wood Center, and you'll want to come to Wood Center to get them, not Copper Lane, especially once it gets snowy and muddy up there. We don't really have any credit cards up there. They're all going to be housed in Wood Center. So all you need to pick those out is you need to be on the account signers form for your club. You're going to need a photo ID. Then you come in, you let us know how much money you want to spend and where you're going, and we'll fill out the form for you. There's also the call number, which I believe is used with dining services on campus if you're wanting to do an event. And then you can do check requests, and like let's say if you have a speaker come up or you're having somebody that's performing a service for your club that you signed a contract, those checks can take anywhere from like 3 to 10 business days to process. So let us know as soon as you know that you might even need one of those. If you don't need one, we can just rip it up, cancel it, but we can't print them the same day if you need a check. Lexi.
And 3 to 10 is a really generous estimate, and usually a week to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Just so you guys know.
listings. Lexi, do you want to talk about that?
If you're planning a wine tasting event, come talk to me well in advance, and we have different methods of purchasing.
And come talk to the culinary club that can cater for you.
Yes, the culinary club that provided all of the food tonight can definitely come and cater your events. I'll say definitely, 100% all the time, always.
I mean, you know, give a couple weeks notice, we're kind of booked up pretty fast, actually. Yeah. Other than that, 100%.
Other
For
than
you.
that, 100%. Okay. So click. So gift cards. Now, if your club is wanting to buy gift cards for any reason, any event, it's one of those things that when gift cards come through our office and even go down to the procurement office, we have to account for those. We need to know where they went and who received them. Buying gift cards is not a way to get around those unallowable purchases. You can't buy a $1,500 Visa gift card with a Pro card to pay for your flight or hotel. Doesn't quite work that way. You can't buy the gift card to go buy a carton of cigarettes. So if you buy a gift card, let us know well in advance because we need to keep track and we have to provide information to the procurement office about who received it and where it went. Click. Okay, so this is the dark side. This is where I gotta get serious for just a little bit. So there's a limit on how many times a student can get reimbursed for spending their own money out of their own pocket for the club. So we're gonna ask you to just not do it ever. If there's some reason, it was the weekend, it was really late at night, it was 11 o'clock on a Sunday and you've been listening to Edgar Allan Poe all day and your club just really needed something and you went out and you spent your own money, come talk to us. We'll fill out the form, but that form requires 2 signatures from the account signers to be able to verify and reimburse you, and that, again, can take a really lengthy time. I'd say anywhere from 3 to 5 business days to 3 months to never. So it's one of those things you just don't want to do. Don't spend money out of your own pocket if you can avoid it. Get a hold of the credit card. If it's a weekend, like, shoot me an email first. Like, if I can get that email on the weekend, maybe we can check you out a credit card on Saturday or Sunday. Just try not to do it. Any questions on that? Okay, so hopefully all your clubs that have a financial account or are spending money have some kind of treasurer or fiscal officer who's keeping track of that. If there is, what do you call it, a mistake? What's the accounting word, Lexi, when they don't match up? A discrepancy. Yeah, there's a discrepancy. What you'll want to do is bring in all of your club's records, and we can pull our records from Banner and see what matches and maybe what's going on, why they're not making dollars and cents like they're supposed to. Any questions about that? So travel. This is one of those things, if you're even just kind of like talking, thinking, joking about travel, your club kind of wants to go to this conference, get a hold of Lexi, tell her what you're doing, what you're looking to go, how you want to do it, because there's different methods for everything from driving in a van to Anchorage to flying to Costa Rica to do whatever you would be doing in Costa Rica. Start that process as soon as you can, because again, if you end up not going, you're just going to rip it up, no big deal. But we can't purchase flights the same day you want to leave. That's one of those things we've had asked. We're like, no, sorry. This is one of those times if you really want to go, you got to spend money out of your own pocket, and you're probably not going to get reimbursed. So as soon as you're thinking about traveling, come in, talk to Lexi. And so her office, in case I hadn't mentioned that, is downstairs by the pool tables. When you're at those pool tables, there's a hallway that has bathrooms in it. You're going to walk into that hallway, you're going to look at some construction. You're going to be real brave and you're going to walk into that construction as if you were going to walk straight through the construction. At the last moment, that hallway is going to turn to the right, and there's her office. Now, I think currently her desk is set up so that her back is to the door, and there's a lot of really loud construction noises. So you might terrify her or scare her when you walk in and she has no idea you're there. So just really shout really, really loud when you walk in there. Just at the absolute loudest you can shout. Okay, and if you're looking for her ever, you can just go to the front desk and say, hey, where's Lexi's office? And somebody walk you back there. Any questions? like this responsibility. Can you stand out? And I'll one at a time and say your name and